I got a feeling that tonight's going to be a good night for our side and potentially a catastrophic evening for Joe Biden. Yeah, a very, very strong hunch. Look, anything can happen. I realize that, but think about it. Joe, they've protected him for far too long. He's skipped practice, and tonight is the great big game. I don't think he's going to make it. I really don't. Something ugly could happen. Let's recap his performance. You remember the Democratic debates last year, whole bunch of them. Joe, with his own Democratic colleagues who were only basically going after him on minor policy differences, Joe was humiliated repeatedly. And Joe wasn't even the focus of attention for half the night. You know, he could take a long break. No. Tonight it's different. It's all about Joe. But let's take a look at how miserably Joe did, even among friends.
The only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point
is... That's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first. I said the first African-American elected. The first African-American. So my point is... Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night, the phone. Make sure the kids hear words. If you agree with me, go to Joe 30330.
Oh, it's bad stuff. And again, fellow Democrats. And he wasn't the focus of the evening. Tonight, it will be significantly different. So, number one, I expect to see a very poor performance from Joe. And also, I know this sounds crazy, but I think Joe is going to threaten physical violence. And this thing could get physical. I know it sounds crazy, but I have a vague sense that something is going to happen like that. Hey, look, Joe has talked about this out loud before.
They asked me, would I like to debate this gentleman? And I said, no. I said, if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell out of him. Wait. Take the AR-14s and what?
Okay, this is not okay. Hold on. Hey, let's
get moving. There's a lot of guys. There's been no indication of any conflict of interest from Ukraine or anywhere else. Period. I'm not gonna respond to that. Let's focus on the problem. Focus on this man, what he's doing, that no president has ever done. No president.
Joe gets really, really angry and really, really nasty when he's backed into a corner. And it's only happened to him like 4 times in his entire life because the media are so kind to him. Tonight, it's going to be very, very different. And when it comes to a physical challenge, I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump took him up on it.
Did you see where Biden wants to take me to the back of the barn? Me. He wants it. I'd love that. I'd love that. Mr. Tough Guy.
All right. They're not going to have a fist fight, but still, it could get very ugly in an unprecedented way. And it's because Joe won't be able to handle the pressure. This is all new to Joe at this level. Yeah, 2012, 2008, he dabbled in it, but he wasn't up against a force of nature like Donald Trump. Also, and I hope this doesn't happen, but it could, a medical episode could be seen in Joe Biden. I mean, he has been very, very wobbly over the past couple of years. We've all seen it. We've all seen his decline. The media, for whatever reason, they're still covering for him, pretending it's not happening. But everybody else can see it.
Wake up. Get to work. There's so much more to be done. Thank you. Good afternoon, and welcome to the nation's Constitution Center. I had the great privilege of being the guest leader of this outfit for a year. The pandemic is that the president has no intercourse whatsoever with the rest of the world on dealing with these things. We led, like Barack Obama led in the in the pandemic that occurred when we were in office. It was kept in Africa. We organized the world. We put things together.
Now, obviously, very, very uneven. But I've been hearing, with Joe, as long as he gets 9.5 hours of sleep, as long as the temperature is 71.7 degrees, he's going to be just great. Now, what could be the key ingredient here, and I don't think it's far-fetched at all, drugs, some sort of cocktail. I mean, the president has said it out loud, and there could be something to this.
They give him a big fat shot in the ass, and he comes out. And for 2 hours, he's better than ever before.
It makes total sense, and it's not unprecedented. I mean, a lot of folks know and knew that Hillary Clinton had very serious medical issues for years, yet they basically ignored it until they couldn't any longer. Remember at that 9/11 memorial just a couple of months before the election? There she is, kind of stumbling into her car. And by the way, notice the Secret Service agents. They're not panicked. They're not like, rawhide is down. It's just they've seen it before. So we know that significant candidates can have health issues, and the media can either not know or deliberately choose to look the other way. I do think Donald Trump is going to have a good night because, well, he's Donald Trump, and number two, he's been practicing for 4 years, but in particular, the past couple of weeks and months, going into these interviews with Chris Wallace, with George Stephanopoulos, hostile crowds, hostile interviews, the Axios guy. Some people were scratching their heads. Why is he doing this? I mean, these are not friends. He's doing it because he was getting ready for the main event, which is fast approaching. Actually, it's 2 hours or so. Also this, remember those COVID briefings that the president was doing from the White House? You'll remember March, April, he was doing them every night at about 6 o'clock, and people were complaining that they went on too long, an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Endurance. And he was practicing then, and he's got the endurance and the hostile questions from the press, all helping him be totally prepared for tonight. I think that's part of the preparation right there. And something else to consider, remember, Donald Trump likes combat. He always has. And if you want to see an example of that, think back not to the debates with Hillary Clinton, which were great, but go back to the primary battle. Remember, he had like 15, 16 Republicans he was up against, all people experienced in politics. Here he is, brand newcomer. He seemed to like it.
Here's a guy that buys a house for $179,000. He sells it to a lobbyist who's probably here for $380,000, and then legislation is passed. You tell me about this guy. This is what we're going to have.
Here's the guy that inherited $200 million. If he hadn't inherited $200 million, you know where Donald Trump would be right now? Selling watches in Manhattan.
Wrong. That is so wrong. We'll work on that. I took $1 million and I turned it into $10 billion. I mean, first of all, this guy's a choke artist and this guy's a liar. You have a combination. This guy always goes. You have a combination of factors. He can't do it for the obvious reason, and he can't do it because he doesn't know how to tell the truth. Other than that, I rest my case.
This is the
you know why? I didn't want to, but he sent me his book with his autograph.
Donald, I understand rules are very hard for you. They're very confusing.
I have his book.
Okay,
on your reality TV show, not in politics.
Thank you for the book.
Donald,
thank you for the book. Go ahead.
Donald, you can get back.
He loves it. He's good at it. And I think we'll see more of this tonight. And he'll be able to address things that the media won't. Hunter Biden. And what was Joe Biden talking to Barack Obama about in the Oval Office on January 5th, 2017? There are some issues that the media won't touch. And as we all know, the president not afraid to go there. Now, there will be a moderator there, Chris Wallace of Fox News. Now, I know Chris. I like him. Nice guy. He did a great job in the third debate in 2016. But Chris is definitely a mainstream guy, if you know what I mean. His bread is buttered in the swamp. Veteran of NBC News, ABC News. I think he's going to keep a low profile tonight. At least he said he would, and there will be no instantaneous fact-checking, which always blows up in everybody's faces, never really works. But if he's going to give anybody a boost, I wouldn't be surprised if he gave it to Joe. All right, bottom line on the debate, I think it's going to be really rough for Joe Biden. He could surprise us, and a very solid night for Donald Trump. If I had to put it this way, if tonight were a scuba diving contest, here's Donald Trump, okay? Swimming with the sharks for years and years and years. Here is Joe Biden, just dipping into the pool, a 3-foot pool. Let's see, if it were an aviation contest, Donald Trump would be flying an F-16 fighter jet at 40,000 feet. Meanwhile, Joe Biden, yeah, keeping it pretty close to the ground. All right, one more. Donald Trump, architect, construction manager. Joe Biden playing around with sandcastles. You get the drift? I hear Joe Biden's been cramming, but some things in life you can't cram for.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.